Deep in silent space, far away from any known star, an alien fleet moved slowly through the dark. Their ships were massive, smooth, and glowing with cold blue light. These aliens ruled a vast empire. For thousands of years, no race had ever challenged their power. On this day, their sensors found something strange. A single human battleship was drifting near a dead star. The alien commander looked at the screen with calm interest. Humans were new to the galaxy. They were known as a young, weak race. Their ships were usually small and slow. There was no reason to fear one lone vessel. "Begin full scan," the commander ordered. Bright energy waves moved across space and touched the human battleship. Data began to flow into the alien ship. At first, the alien scientist smiled. The outer armor looked simple. The design was not beautiful. It seemed old and rough. "Primitive structure," one scientist said with a soft laugh. Weapons data appeared next on the screen. The smile slowly vanished. The energy levels were rising too fast. Too high. Higher than any known alien weapon. The room became silent. The machines kept scanning deeper. Shield systems appeared next. One scientist whispered, "That shield strength is equal to our capital defense stations." The commander stood up from his chair. This was no longer a joke. Then the core reactor data appeared. The screen flickered. Numbers climbed into unknown limits. This power source should not exist," one scientist said in fear. The human ship was not using normal energy. It was using something unstable, something ancient, something that could tear stars apart if it failed. The alien commander felt a strange cold in his body. This was only one human ship. They continued the scan into the weapons storage. What they found made several aliens step back. Inside the human battleship were weapons that did not follow known laws of space. Gravity weapons, time-based devices, energy blades that could cut through dimensions. One weapon was marked as restricted for survival-class threats only. The commander asked quietly, "What is a survival-class threat?" The scientist answered with shaking voice, "It means something that can erase a civilization." At that moment, the human ship slightly changed position. No Indians fired. No energy trail appeared. The ship simply moved. The alien fleet gasped in shock. This kind of movement was impossible without space distortion technology that only existed in legends. The alien commander finally understood. This ship was not lost. It was waiting. Another signal appeared on the alien screen. It was a simple human transmission. "You're scanning a military vessel of Earth. Stop immediately." The alien commander felt anger rise. A human ship was warning the great empire. "How dare they," he said. "Lock targeting systems. Prepare capture units." But before any weapon could fire, something inside the scan system detected movement deep inside the human ship. Not machines, living beings. Humans were standing calmly at their battle stations. No fear in their eyes. No panic in their movements. Every soldier was ready. Their faces showed cold confidence. The human captain stood at the center of the command deck. His eyes were steady. He had already seen the alien fleet. He spoke calmly. "They chose to look inside the cage," he said. "Now they will learn what lies inside it." The alien fleet suddenly received a flood of unknown signals from the human ship. Their systems struggled to understand it. Warnings filled every alien screen. The commander shouted, "Shut down the scan. Pull back now." But it was too late. The scan had already seen everything. And what the alien empire had discovered inside that single human battleship would soon become the greatest fear in their entire history. Because this was not just a warship. This was a warning. The alien fleet pulled back in silence. No one cheered. No one spoke with pride. The scan data from a human battleship had changed everything. The commander stood still. His hands were shaking. "Send this data to the High Council," he said. "All of it." In a distant sector of the galaxy, inside a massive, dark, floating city, the alien High Council gathered in emergency session. 12 ancient leaders sat on glowing thrones. They had ruled the stars for thousands of years. No race had ever made them afraid. Until now, the scan data appeared in the air before them. At first, The council members showed no reaction. Human ship design looked rough. Not elegant. Not advanced. Some leaders almost laughed. They looked like builders, not warriors, one leader said. Then the weapons data appeared. The laughter stopped. Power levels climbed higher and higher. Shield values broke every known limit. Reactor data crossed into forbidden ranges that the alien scientists had banned long ago. One council member whispered, "This is not evolution. This is madness." Then the survival class weapons list appeared. A dead silence filled the chamber. "These weapons are not made for war," one leader said slowly. "They are made for extinction." The oldest council member finally spoke. His voice was heavy. "Humans were attacked long ago," he said. "Our records show traces of a forgotten war near their sector. Something tried to erase them." The room became colder. "And they survived," another said. "Yes," the elder replied. "And they prepared." Back at the alien fleet, fear began to spread through every ship. Engineers whispered to each other. Soldiers stared at the dark shape of the human battleship from far away. No one wanted to move closer. But the Empire was built on dominance. The command order finally arrived. "Capture the human ship. Do not destroy it. We must study this power." The commander hesitated. His instincts screamed danger. But he obeyed. Hundreds of alien capture drones launched into space. They moved fast. They were designed to shut down stars, not small ships. Against a young race like humans, it should have been easy. Inside the human battleship, the crew watched the drones approach. The captain remained calm. "Do not fire yet," he said. "Let them come." The first wave of drones surrounded the ship. Energy nets spread across space, try to lock the human vessel in place. The nets touched the hull. They vanished. Like mist and fire, the aliens froze in shock. Their strongest capture tech had failed in 1 second. "Second wave now," the alien commander shouted. More drones rushed forward. They fired disable beams, gravity traps, and space binders. The human battleship did not move. Then a soft blue light flowed along the hull. All alien weapons shut down at the same time. Every drone went dark. They simply drifted dead in space. The alien bridge exploded into panic. "This is impossible," one officer screamed. "They disabled us without firing a single shot." The human captain finally raised his hand. "Now," he said. A single weapon port opened on the human battleship. Only one. A thin beam of light touched the nearest alien destroyer. For half a second, nothing happened. Then the destroyer folded inward like paper crushed by an invisible hand. No explosión, no fire. It simply ceased to exist. The alien fleet broke formation in panic. "This is only one weapon," the human weapons officer said calmly. "We have many more." The alien commander felt true terror for the first time in his life. The humans were not fighting to show power. They were demonstrating control. And control was far more frightening than rage. A new message appeared on all alien screens. "You were warned to stop," the human captain said. "This was your last free mistake." The alien empire now understood one truth. They had not found a weak new race. They had found the survivors of something far worse than themselves. And whatever once tried to destroy humanity had failed. The alien fleet was no longer calm. Fear had entered every ship. The silent space around them felt heavy. The human battleship did not move, but its presence felt like a giant shadow over the stars. The alien commander looked at the remains of the destroyed warship drifting as dust. "One ship," he whispered. "Just one weapon." The Empire had lost hundreds of ships in past wars, but never like this. No fire, no sound, no warning. One moment the destroyer existed. The next moment it was nothing. The command channel burst with shouting voices. "They erased it," an officer cried. "We cannot stop them," another said. But the Empire had pride, and pride was stronger than fear. A new order flashed from the High Council. Full assault. Overwhelm the human ship with numbers. Do not retreat. The commander closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he obeyed. Thousands of alien warships moved forward together. Heavy cannons charged. Space filled with screaming energy as weapons prepared to fire. Inside the human battleship, The crew remained calm. The captain stood with his hands behind his back. "Activate outer defense only," he said. "No main guns yet." The first wave of alien fire crossed space like a burning storm. Plasma, dark energy, and light-based weapons struck the human shields at the same time. For several seconds, the alien fleet believed they were winning. Then the smoke cleared. The human battleship was untouched. Not a single scratch. The alien fleet froze in disbelief. The human outer shield builder spoke softly. "Shield stable at 100%. The alien commander shouted in rage. "Fire again. Maximum output." The alien ships obeyed. The second wave of fire was stronger than the first. The energy was enough to crack a small moon. The human battleship still did not move. Then the shield changed color, from blue to deep white. The light was so bright that alien sensors began to fail. "What is that energy reading?" the commander shouted. No one answered. Their systems could not measure it. The human captain finally gave a new command. "Return the pressure equal." A silent wave spread from the human ship. Not fast, not violent, just silent. The wave touched the front line of alien ships. Every ship it touched lost all power instantly. Thousands of warships went dark at the same time and drifted like dead bodies in space. The backlines tried to escape. They could not. Space itself bent around the human battleship. The alien engineer screamed. "They are bending gravity across an entire battle zone." The commander fell back into his seat. "This is not a battle," he whispered. "This is control over reality." Inside the human ship, the soldiers stayed silent. They were trained not to celebrate. This power was not something they were proud of. It was something they carried as a burden. The human captain looked at the stars. "Open archive channel," he ordered. A hidden memory file appeared on the screen. Old images, burned planets, broken cities, billions of human lives lost long ago. One officer lowered his head. "This is why we built this ship," he said. The captain nodded. "We were pushed to the edge once," he said. "Never again." Outside, the alien fleet was breaking apart in panic. Some ships tried to self-destruct. Others begged for retreat permission. The commander activated an emergency channel to the High Council. "They are not using full weapons," he said in fear. "This is only their outer system. We cannot win." The High Council answered with silence. For the first time in their long history, the great alien empire had no solution. The human battleship slowly began to move forward. No engines, no sound, just impossible motion. The alien fleet pulled away in chaos. And in that moment, the galaxy understood one terrible truth. The humans were no longer hiding. They were advancing. The alien fleet was in full retreat. No formation, no order, only fear. Warships fled in every direction, trying to escape the silent shadow of the human battleship that drifted forward without sound. Inside the alien flagship, the commander collapsed into his chair. His body felt heavy. His mind felt broken. "They did not chase us," he whispered. "They let us go." That truth was more frightening than pursuit. Far away, in the heart of the alien empire, the High Council watched the battle recordings in silence. Every screen showed the same thing. Their weapons were useless. Their numbers meant nothing. Their power was an illusion. One council member spoke at last. "We must know how they became this," he said. "We must see inside their machine." A dangerous plan was formed. Not an attack, a theft. A covert team of the Empire's best shadow operatives was sent through folded space. Their mission was impossible. They were to slip past the human defenses and hack directly into the battleship's inner systems. Near the human ship, space shimmered. The alien operatives appeared like ghosts. Small, silent, invisible to normal sensors. They reached the hull and passed through the outer layer using stolen distortion tools. For a moment, they believed they had succeeded. Inside the human battleship, red lights flashed. "Intrusion confirmed," a calm voice said. "Access granted." The human captain stood on the bridge, unmoving. "They want to see inside," he said. "Then let them see." The alien team entered the inner corridors of the ship. They expected harsh metal, cold machines, Instead, they saw something else. Walls that carried soft light. Floors that changed shape under their steps. The ship felt alive. They moved deeper. Human soldiers stood at their posts. The aliens were shocked. The humans did not panic. They did not shout. They only watched with quiet eyes, as if they knew the aliens were there all along. One alien operative tried to fire. His weapon shut down in his hands. They were prisoners now. The human captain's face appeared on every inner display. "You wanted to understand our power," he said. "You will understand our past first." The walls around the alien operatives changed into moving screens. They showed old Earth, cities burning, oceans boiling, skies filled with alien warships that were not part of the present empire. A different enemy, a far older one. "They came without warning," the captain said. "They called us weak. They trampled our world. They killed billions." The images showed humanity's fall, broken armies, lost colonies, children hiding in the ruins. "They thought we were finished," the captain continued. "They were wrong." The images changed. Human survivors building in secret, deep underground, inside dead stars, inside black zones of space where no enemy would look. "We did not grow strong for conquest," he said. "We grew strong because extinction was knocking on our door." The alien operatives trembled. The images now showed the creation of the first human battleships like the one outside. Weapons that bent gravity. Shields born from collapsed suns. Reactors that fed uncontrolled chaos. And when they returned to finish us, the captain said softly, "We did not beg." The final image showed the ancient enemy fleet being erased from existence. Total silence. The alien operatives realized the truth. Humans were not born monsters. They were forged when monsters tried to erase them. The human captain looked directly into the alien leader's eyes through the screen. "You scan one ship," he said. "This is only one." The alien empire received the data feed from their operatives. The High Council watched everything. No one spoke. No one breathed. One council member finally whispered, "We did not awaken a sleeping race. We awakened a survivor civilization built on the ruins of extinction," another replied. At that same moment, deep within the human battleship, a new system came online. A system that had never been activated before. The human weapons officer looked at the readings. "Captain," he said, "the main core is awake." The captain closed his eyes for 1 second. "Then the galaxy is about to change," he said. Far away, every alien sensor in the Empire suddenly detected one signal. A signal so powerful that it shook space itself. Humanity was no longer just defending. Humanity was preparing to answer. The signal from the human battleship spread across the galaxy like a silent scream. Every alien scanner felt it. Every sensor shook. The message was clear. Humans were ready. Inside the heart of the alien empire, the High Council was in chaos. Fear and rage mixed in the Great Chamber. "They're preparing for war," one leader shouted. "They're already at war with us," another replied. The oldest council member rose slowly. "There is only one path left," he said. "If we do not destroy them now, they will one day stand over our ruins." A final command was given. Launch the full Empire fleet. Across thousands of star systems, alien shipyards came alive. Gates opened. Ancient warships that had not moved for centuries powered up once again. Planet killer cannons. Starbreaker engines. Living war beasts of metal and energy. This was not just an army. This was extinction in motion. Millions of alien warships moved toward human space in one giant wave. Inside the human battleship, warning alarms sounded for the first time. The weapons officer spoke calmly, but his eyes showed the truth. "Captain, they're sending everything." The human captain looked at the dark star map filled with red signals. "So they have chosen fear," he said, "not wisdom." He turned to the crew. "All hands to full battle stations," he said. "This is no longer a warning battle. This is survival." Every human soldier moved with perfect control. No shouting, no panic, only purpose. As the alien armada entered the battle zone, space itself seemed to grow silent. The first alien line opened fire. energy that could burn suns cross space in violent storms. The human battleship raised its shield. For the first time, the shield shook. The impact sent shock waves through space that could be felt across distant systems. Shield at 89%, the shield officer reported. The alien fleet believed they had hurt the monster. They were wrong. The human captain raised his hand. Phase 1 weapons, he said. The human ship opened dozens of weapon ports at once. Light, gravity, and time folded together. Entire sections of the alien armada vanished in silent flashes. Not destroyed, removed. Space where they once existed was now empty. Alien commanders screamed in horror. They are erasing us from reality. The alien empire activated their forbidden weapon. A massive device, powered by a chain star, aimed directly at the human battleship. The blast fired. The beam struck the human ship directly. For one terrible moment, all signals were lost. The alien empire celebrated. Then the human battleship reappeared from inside the beam. Untouched, not even slowed. The human captain opened a galaxy-wide broadcast. His voice was calm. "You are using weapons meant to end stars," he said. "We learned to survive stars dying a long time ago." The human main core began to glow. Space around the human battleship started to twist. The weapon power climbed higher than anything the alien empire could measure. "Captain," the weapons officer said slowly, "the core is entering final release level." The captain looked at the alien armada. "Lock on the command fleet," he said. The weapon fired. A wave of controlled collapse spread forward. The front line of the alien empire folded inward. Thousands of warships crushed into nothing under their own gravity. Behind them, ships smashed into each other as space itself bent violently. Entire alien formations disappeared in seconds. The empire began to break. Desperate retreat signals flooded the battle space. But escape was no longer possible. Then something unexpected happened. A signal came from deep inside human space. Not a weapon signal, a civilian signal. Human colonies, families, children, they were watching. The human captain closed his eyes. "This war was built by them," he said softly, "but it will be remembered by our people." The alien empire now faced a truth worse than defeat. They were not fighting a proud race. They were fighting a species that had already lost everything once. And such a species never fights to win. It fights to make sure it never loses again. The human battleship moved forward into the heart of the alien armada, and the galaxy held its breath. The alien armada was no longer an army. It was a storm of fear. Ships crashed into each other. Escape gates failed. Command signals overlapped in panic. The once perfect machine of the Empire was now breaking apart in chaos. Inside the alien flagship, the commander watched his screens go dark one by one. Entire fleets had vanished. Not defeated. Erased. "This is the end," he whispered. But the worst truth had not yet arrived. Inside the human battleship, the main core continued to rise in power. The light inside the ship grew brighter. The gravity around it grew heavier. The weapons officer spoke in a slow voice. "Captain, the core memory gate is opening." The captain looked at the screen. "What they're seeing," he said, "is our real history." Across the alien empire, every major command center suddenly received a forced broadcast. They tried to shut it down. They failed. The human memory stream appeared everywhere. Alien leaders, soldiers, and citizens all saw the same images. Earth long ago, not a world of power. A world of forests, oceans, and simple cities. And then the sky burning. An ancient enemy fleet descended. Their weapons turned continents into fire. Human armies were crushed in days. Human space fleets were erased in hours. Planets fell silent across the stars. The broadcast showed the truth in full. Humanity had been hunted, driven to extinction. Only a few million survived, hidden in deep space, inside dead stars, in frozen dark worlds. One alien leader fell to his knees. "They were almost wiped out," he whispered, "on the human battleship." The captain spoke calmly into the broadcast. "We were not born strong," he said. "We were born fragile." That is why we learn to become dangerous. The images changed. Human survivors building in total silence. No flags, no pride, only survival. Weapons were not built for war. They were built for the last defense. Children trained not for glory, but for endurance. Science grew not for comfort, but for protection. And when they returned to finish what they started, the captain continued, "We did not chase them." The final image appeared. The ancient enemy fleet was pulled into a collapsing space field and crushed into nothing. No victory speech, no celebration, only silence after extinction. The broadcast ended. Across the alien empire, fear took a new form. This was not fear of power. This was fear of purpose. Inside the alien High Council chamber, the eldest council member could barely breathe. "They do not fight to rule," he said. "They fight to make sure no one ever touches their home again." The alien empire had never faced an enemy like this. Every race they had crushed before had fought for land, for pride, for power. Humans fought only for one reason: never again. On the battlefield, the human battleship moved deeper into the broken alien armada. Still no anger in its actions. No cruelty, just silent correction. One by one, alien command fleets died. The empire began to collapse from the inside. Entire sectors sent surrender signals. Others self-destructed to avoid human capture. The alien commander made one final call to the High Council. "It is over," he said. "We are not losing a war. We are facing judgment." Inside the human battleship, the captain received a new alert. A foreign signal was forming near the core of the battle zone. Not alien, not human, ancient. The sensors struggled to lock onto it. The weapons officer turned pale. "Captain, this signature matches the enemy from our extinction war." The crew went silent. After all this time, something had been watching. The human captain slowly raised his head. "So," he said, "the shadow that hunted us has finally returned." Outside the ship, space began to ripple. Something massive was pushing its way into reality. And for the first time in this war, humans were no longer facing the alien empire. They were facing the true enemy from their lost history. Space broke open like glass. From the deep wound in reality, something enormous began to emerge. It had no clear shape. Its body was made of twisted light and shadow. Time around it moved slowly, as if space itself was afraid to touch it. The ancient enemy had returned. Across the battlefield, both humans and aliens felt the same fear. The alien empire had been broken. Their fleets were destroyed. Their pride was gone. But now they saw the truth. They had never been the true enemy. They were only a test. Inside the human battleship, every alarm activated at once. The sensors struggled to read the massive shape before them. The weapons officer spoke carefully. "It is the same signature," he said. "The one that destroyed our ancestors." The human captain stared at the sky. After thousands of years, after hiding, after rebuilding in silence, the nightmare had found them again. Around the ancient entity, space folded inward. The remains of alien warships were pulled toward it like dust into a storm. Ships twisted, cracked, and vanished without sound. Alien leaders screamed in horror. "We awaken it," one cried. "This is our punishment." For the first time, the human captain showed emotion. Not fear, rage. A deep, quiet rage. He activated a galaxy-wide broadcast, not only to the alien empire, but to every human world, to every colony, to every survivor. His voice was calm, but heavy with history. "This is the enemy that tried to erase us," he said. "This is the shadow that burned our world." Across human space, billions of people listened. Children, soldiers, workers, families, all silent. The captain continued. "We did not build our power to rule," he said. "We built it to end this moment." Behind the human battleship, space began to open again. One by one, shapes appeared. Human warships. Not one fleet. Not 10. Thousands. Hidden fleets that had waited for this single moment. Ships built in dead stars. Ships born in gravity storms. Ships that had never been seen by any alien race. The true human defense force. The alien empire watched in frozen terror. They were never alone, a council member whispered. They were waiting, another replied. The ancient enemy reacted. It turned its terrible attention toward the human armada. A wave of dark force rushed forward and wiped out hundreds of alien ships instantly. The human fleets did not break. They advanced. The human captain raised his hand. All fleets, he said. Final protocol. From the center of the human battleship, the main core opened fully for the first time in history. The light that poured out was not bright. It was deep, heavy, like the heart of a star made solid. The space around it stopped obeying normal laws. Time slowed. Gravity bent. Even the ancient enemy hesitated. The human fleets opened fire together. Not with anger, with precision. Weapons of gravity, light, and controlled collapse struck the ancient creature from every direction. Huge pieces of its form were torn away. For the first time in its existence, the ancient enemy screamed. The sound did not travel through space. It traveled through the mind. Across the battlefield, even humans felt the pain of it. The creature tried to retreat into the wound in space. The human captain shouted, "Lock the collapse field. Seal the fracture." Human ships moved into perfect formation. Their combined power wrapped around the torn space like invisible chains. The ancient enemy fought with everything it had. Entire human ships were lost. But for every one that fell, two more took its place. This was not a battle for victory. This was a battle for an ending. The human captain gave the final order. Core to total release. The weapons officer closed his eyes. "We will not be able to use this technology again," he warned. "It will burn the core forever." The captain answered softly. "Then it ends as it was born. For survival." The core fired. Not a beam, not a wave. A collapse of reality itself. The fractured space folded inward. The ancient enemy was dragged, screaming, into the implosion. For one terrible second, the galaxy held its breath. Then silence. The space wound sealed. The ancient enemy was gone. Not destroyed. Erased from existence itself. The battlefield went still. The remaining alien ships slowly shut down their weapons. Across the alien empire, the war had ended in a single moment. Inside the human battleship, the main core faded into darkness, never to awaken again. The weapons officer whispered, "It is done." The human captain closed his eyes. "We are finally free," he said. A week later, the last session of the Alien High Council was held. Not as rulers, as survivors. They transmitted a final message to humanity. "We surrender," they said, "not as an empire, but as a people asking for mercy." The human answer came from Earth. Short, clear,